What is an atom? What is atom made of? Structure of an atom and why atoms are different. At the end of this lecture, I will teach you top 4 important and conceptual questions. Before starting the lecture, click on the subscribe button and get access to our 100 of conceptual lectures for free. Firstly, let me teach you the concept of basic unit or building blocks. Consider Mr. Tom. He wants to build this house. What he needs for it? Well, he needs bricks in order to develop or to build this house. Thus, the smallest unit of this house is brick, or you can say that it is the brick that is making the house. Therefore, we also say that the building blocks of this house is bricks. Now, understanding the philosophy of an atom. Consider a dog. We know that the word dog is made up of 3 alphabets, D, O and G. Let I say that there are 3 different units that are making the word dog. D is different from O and G is different from D. But overall, they make a single word dog. Similarly, consider a banana. It is made up of many different particles or units, which in science we call them atoms. When we join different alphabets, we get different words. When we join different atoms, we get different substances. Thus remember that just like alphabets that make words like dog, atoms are also small units or particles that make any matter or substance like this banana. Now, what is an atom? Well, the easiest definition of an atom is that the smallest unit of any matter or substance is known as an atom. Atoms are so small that they couldn't be seen with naked eye. All the things we see or use around us are made up of atoms. For example, table salt. It is made up of 2 different atoms like sodium and chlorine. Thus 2 different atoms, sodium and chlorine, combine together and form table salt. Sugar is another matter. It is made up of 3 different atoms like carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Water is also matter. It is made up of 2 different atoms, hydrogen and oxygen. Thus different substances like table salt, sugar and water are made up from different atoms. Remember that when same atoms combine together, they form element. For example, when many iron atoms combine together, they form iron sheet. Thus we say that iron is an element. Secondly, when different atoms combine together, they form compound. For example, when sodium and chlorine atoms combine together, they form compound or table salt. Now, what is atom made of? Well, until now, we have learned that matter like water is made of 2 atoms, hydrogen and oxygen. When millions of hydrogen and oxygen atoms combine together chemically in fixed ratio by mass, we get 1 glass water. Recently, scientists have discovered that atoms like hydrogen and oxygen are made up from 3 subparticles. For instance, take any atom, observe it under the electronic microscope. You will see that any atom is made up of proton, electron and neutron. Thus we say that proton, electron and neutron form any atom. Let me repeat this important statement. Proton, electron and neutron form any atom. When many such atoms combine together, they form many different substances like water or iron sheet. Now the another question you should learn that why atoms are different. For example, hydrogen atom is different from oxygen atom. Why all atoms are not same? Well, once again consider that spelling of dog. Let me ask you, why D is different from O? Your answer may be, it is because the structure of D is different, a size is different, or maybe its function is different. Similarly, atoms are different due to numbers of protons, electrons, and neutrons. For example, when 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons combine together, they form carbon atom. Secondly, when 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 8 neutrons combine together, they form oxygen atom. Now, wherever we find an atom having 6 proton, 6 electron, and 6 neutron, we call it carbon atom. Similarly, when we find an atom having 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 8 neutrons, we call it, yes, it is oxygen atom. Thus, we learn that atoms are different from one another due to having different number of protons, electrons, and neutrons. Also, you must learn the structure of an atom. We know that the structure of all human beings is the same. For instance, every human being has 2 eyes, nose, mouth, and 2 ears. Similarly, the structure of all atoms is the same. Every atom consists of 3 parts. The central part of any atom is known as a nucleus. The fixed and circular part around the nucleus are called shells or energy levels. 90% of space in atom is empty. Remember that electrons fly around the nucleus in these fixed paths just like planets revolve around the sun. Remember that electrons cannot stay in the space between the nucleus and shells. They have to rotate on these fixed paths or shells. Secondly, protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus. You can say that they are locked in the nucleus. The size of nucleus compared to rest of the size of the atom is very small. We often say that nucleus is very dense. Thus, we therefore say that atom contains nucleus, empty space, and shells are energy levels. Lastly, let me teach you top 4 conceptual and important questions. The first question is, are human beings made up of atoms? Well, the answer is yes. Human beings are made up of atoms. For example, we store glycogen in our body. Glycogen is made up of sugar or glucose. We know that a single molecule of glucose is made up of 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms. Thus, we therefore say that human beings are made up of atoms. The second question is, can an atom die? The answer is no. Atoms do not die because they are not alive, but they do make up elements. For example, glucose or sugar is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. When you digest sugar, your body may convert carbon, hydrogen, or oxygen atoms into other useful substances. But your body cannot destroy these atoms, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Thus, we say that atoms do not die. The third question is, can we create an atom? The answer is yes. We can create an atom by 2 different processes, nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. For instance, in nuclear fission, large atoms like uranium is split into 2 smaller atoms like barium and krypton, while in nuclear fusion, 2 small atoms of hydrogens combine together to form a heavy atom like helium. On the basis of these 2 nuclear reactions, we can say that we can create atoms in nuclear power plant. The last and the fourth question you should learn that Can we destroy an atom? Well, the answer is yes. We can destroy an atom according to laws of conservation of mass and energy. Atom can be destroyed in the sense that their energy is converted completely to different forms. For example, an atom may collide with an antimatter atom, leaving only high energy light rays, like that an electron-positron annihilation. Remember that here we assume that mass is converted into energy according to Einstein's equation. Thus we therefore say that we can destroy an atom according to conservation laws. This was all about atom. If you have learned something new in this lecture, then like this video and subscribe our channel for more conceptual lectures.